Now, you recall Obama won the Nobel Peace Prize for hope of what he would do. And the year he won, prominent American philosopher and activist Noam Chomsky wrote a column saying that a truly worthy choice for that award would have been our next guest. Afghan activist, champion of human and women's rights, an outspoken critic of the Afghan war and government. She knows both very well firsthand. A former member of Afghan Parliament, she was suspended for her sharp critique of it and now dodges assassination attempts. Author of A Woman Among Warlords, the extraordinary story of an Afghan who dared to raise her voice. She almost wasn't allowed to raise it in the U.S. to promote it. Earlier, I spoke with her and asked why she thinks a country that supposedly champions women's rights in Afghanistan first denied a visa to an Afghan woman working so hard to defend them. Malalai Joya.
I think that it has political reason because the response when I got as ridiculous excuse they made why I'm living underground and also I'm unemployment. When I said, do you know who am I and why I'm living underground? And they said, yes, we know very well who you are. It was the last response, and that's why I believe as each time in Western countries, when I go, same in the US and some other countries on behalf of my people, when I attend in the conferences, I expose the mask of wrong policies of the US government and these NATO other warmongers who occupied my country under the beautiful banner of women's rights, human rights and democracy and pushed us from the frying pan into the fire. Each country I'm going, I see huge difference between justice-loving people of these countries, between nations and Europe and US, everywhere when I go between, and also between the wrong politician, warmonger of their government. There's even huge difference between the democratic-minded politician and wrong politician who occupied my country and still continue to this brutal war in supporting the sworn enemies of democracy, women's rights, human rights in our country.
And now, the people that you spoke about who are activists against the war, their voices have gotten louder. More Americans oppose the war than ever before in the United States. 2/3 are opposed to it. Why do you think the U.S. is still there?
As I said, that they occupied our country and they are there for their own strategic, regional, economic, political interest. Because we are in the heart of the Asia through Afghanistan, they easily can control other Asian powers like China, Iran, Pakistan, Russia, etc.
There has been a number of reports of brutal civilian casualties, and we've seen reports of the kill team which posed with photos of dead Afghans. What is the impact of this in your country?
You know that during this 10 years of occupation by blind bombardment of US and NATO troops, occupation forces, tens of thousands of innocent civilians has been killed and they did a massacre. After all of these war crimes, White House says apologize. Karzai's puppet regime says thank you, that is it. We fed up from listening, apologize and thank you. We want the end of this occupation as soon as possible. I think justice-loving great people of the U.S. around the world agree with us. Democracy never comes by military invasion. Women's rights, human rights never come by war. Democracy never comes by cluster bomb white phosphorus, by bombing our wedding parties, killing innocent civilians. Democracy never comes by supporting these sworn enemies of these values, Taliban, and also photocopy of the Taliban, these misogynist, terrorist warlords. So we wish that it was not military invasion, it was invasion of a school, clinic, hospital, etc.
You mentioned building schools, helping the people. Those are reports you hear in the United States, the U.S. government saying they are doing those things. Is that not accurate?
They built few schools in some big cities, like in Kabul. You can see some women have access to job and education in Herat province. But in most of provinces, situation, especially for the women, is like hell. And for justification of their occupation, they did some reconstruction, which is not enough. While billions of dollars, more than $30 billion, Karzai's regime received, if the democratic-minded people, they were in power, not corrupt and not these warlords, today Afghanistan was like heaven.
Could have been like heaven. That was Malalai Joya, activist and author.